Sorry, it's been a minute since last video, but I was on tour this week in Ottawa, Montreal with Ben Bankus. Went great, thanks for asking. And there was one thing I saw kept popping up on my news feed that just drove me crazy. As you know, I'm not a fan of the current foreign policy establishment. I think they're ding-dongs. But there is truly no one worse at statesmanship and statecraft than Justin Blackface Trudeau. Like, I get it. You want to be a human rights guy. And to a point, there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't understand what Canada's role in the world is. We are a leader in human rights, and we're, allies with the global West. Now, in order to manage alliances, you have to be tactful and diplomatic in the way you do it. You do not, in front of the Italian Prime Minister, say, oh, we're really concerned about LGBTQ records in Italy because they have a Family Pride Month. And you don't do the same thing to the Polish foreign minister who's standing right beside you. These are our allies. Now, you can criticize allies, but the bar at which you criticize an ally needs to be pretty high. I would be okay with a criticism of Poland for being a racist, homophobic, whatever phobic country if they were rounding up gay people and hanging them from cranes. They do not do that. You know who does that? The Islamic Republic of Iran. Do you know what country Justin Trudeau is consistently friendly of and will never legitimately criticize? The Islamic Republic of Iran. Yes, he's made criticisms of them, but he had to be hand-tied and basically held at gunpoint in order to say anything. And he still won't do anything about the Islamic Republic of Iran, and still pushing the global world for more negotiations with them for murdering gays. Also terrorism, so they also murder Canadians too, and Americans, and Yemenis. You get my point. Justin Trudeau is the epitome of what you want to call woke progressivism, anti-racism, hyper-leftism, and it's destroying this country on a global scale. Canada gets its power as a middle power by being a great diplomatic nation. We have very close ties with America. America's a bit rough around the edges, not very good at making friends in the international scene. That's the opposite for us. We're very, we have a great reputation in Europe, we have a great reputation in America, and we have a good reputation with the rest of the community, right? Peacekeepers in the Suez Canal, Lebanon, you name it. Canada, historically, has been on the right side of most of these conflicts and gains power internationally and diplomatically by being a good mediator, keeping everyone in their good graces. And it doesn't mean you have to be spineless. Remember when Stephen Harper went up to Vladimir Putin and said, I'll shake your hand, but you have to get to Ukraine in 2014? Right? That's criticism, not an ally. But again, that's standing up to an enemy. Right? You criticize your enemies publicly, and when it's your friends, you do things a bit more in-house. And there's always a tactful way to answer it. Oh, what do you think of Poland's LGBTQ record? You could say, listen, Canada and Poland do things differently. Here in Canada, we believe in this, this. And, as our European partners, we know they have very high standards, and, if the standards are seen to be unmet, that's a question for the European Commission, which hasn't... But there's an answer. You can just say how much you love gay people, and then move on. You don't need to slam them. Now, what makes this worse, and what makes this a total disaster is, again, he's saying this about Italy and Poland, right? It's the progressive idea that only white people matter. Only whites matter. There's no problem when it's brown people killing black people, or black people killing brown people, or browns on browns, or blacks and Asians. As long as there's no white people involved, the progressive core doesn't care, right? We'll go back to Iran. How many Canadians were murdered on PS 752? Trudeau hasn't done anything about it. Let the regime handle the investigation. We don't care. But we get down to it. You can't run a country like this. And think of it. Do you think Italy and Poland look up to Canada right now? They're annoyed. What value does Justin Trudeau provide? And it's not like we're America where we have anything to back this up. Right? What are we going to do? Boycott Poland? Boycott Italy because they're not woke enough? And it's insane that we only criticize, we only criticize governments that are, center-right Western countries. These are the only ones that Trudeau criticizes. Once Saudi Arabia moved away from the Muslim Brotherhood, he was a bit mad at them for that. Again, Saudi Arabia getting more progressive and liberal. Blah, right? Now we turn the jets and criticize. Again, another ally. There's tactful ways to do this. But Justin Trudeau is not one of them. He is purely interested in being a global diversity ambassador, getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to speak at different charities that might have happened to get tax benefits under his time in office. But we can't have this as Canada. We just can't. Like, it's not even a left versus right thing anymore. It's just bad statesmanship from a country that is allowed in the G8 because we are a great diplomatic peacemaker, right? We're great at, you want to throw Canada in to negotiations. It's sort of seen as fair mediator, which gets us at the table at a lot of larger things, which gets us more opportunities. This is great. But since Justin Trudeau's come to office, we've been further and further alienated from our allies, because not only do we slam our allies, but we pump up our enemies. And that's just bad statecraft. It's 101 level stuff. So there's nothing else to say. He's the worst statesman in Canadian history and the worst statesman in the world right now. And if you've made it to the end of the video, thanks so much. There'll be more coming out today. And again, as I was on tour, after touring the country with Ben Bankus, I can confidently say he is the best comic in Canada working. It was truly a pleasure getting back with him. So if you're in Toronto, June 17th, we'll be doing a show at the Royal Theatre. It's going to be huge. About to sell out, so get your tickets before they sell out. And, if you come, I'll see you there. Till the next time the government does something that makes me incredibly angry, which will be 5 minutes from now, and the video will come out tomorrow.